All right, so today we're diving into a topic that I think always kind of sparks fascination. It's billionaires.
Yeah. Always interesting.
We always want to kind of know what makes them tick, right? What gets them going.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. We often see billionaires as this like monolithic group,
Hmm.
you know, but their paths to wealth are so different
Right.
and their motivations are incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
For this deep dive, we've got a great source.
Okay, awesome.
It's a YouTube documentary called How to Be a Billionaire. It's a finance documentary from the channel Economy.
I love that channel.
Yeah?
That's a good one.
Yeah, they don't just talk about theory. They
Right.
bring in three real billionaires: Naveen Jain, Dmitry Itskov, and Michael Birch.
Oh, cool. I've heard of at least one of those guys.
Yeah, each one has a unique story and a different perspective on wealth and success,
Yeah.
what it means to make a real impact.
Cool. So what's the mission today? What are we trying to find out?
Well, I think we go beyond the yachts and private jets. We're going to look for the deeper patterns, the mindsets,
Yeah.
the motivations,
Right.
the surprising commonalities.
Yeah, because I always just assume it's about like taking risks and chasing the next big payout.
Right. Could be more to it.
But maybe it's not that simple.
Maybe not. Let's start with Naveen Jain.
Okay.
He's a passionate entrepreneur who's deeply involved in space exploration,
Wow.
tackling global problems.
Big thinker.
Yeah. So from what I saw in the documentary, he owns Moon Express,
Okay.
which is a company aiming to mine the moon.
So like really thinking big.
Yeah. He seems to believe that tackling large-scale complex issues is the key to unlocking financial success. Makes you wonder, is that cynical or a shrewd observation? What do you think?
It's a great question.
Mhm.
It's definitely not the get-rich-quick scheme we often hear about, right? And he's not just armchair philosophizing either.
Yeah.
This guy starts his day at 5 a.m. with emails, exercise, and meditation.
Oh, wow.
Come on.
That's intense.
That level of discipline is incredible. It makes me rethink my own morning routine.
Right. But beyond the hustle, he emphasizes using his wealth and innovation to make a difference,
Okay.
not just to make money for its own sake.
Right.
He wants to tackle things like education, healthcare, resource scarcity.
It sounds like he's wired to solve problems, and the bigger the better.
Yeah, and the documentary mentioned that his son aims to be even more successful than his dad
Oh, wow.
by impacting even more lives,
That's great.
which says a lot about the values that Naveen has instilled in his family.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just about building a fortune.
Right.
It's about using that fortune to make a positive impact.
Okay, so we've got the driven problem solver.
Right.
Now let's talk about Dmitry Itskov.
Okay.
He's a Russian media mogul,
Yeah.
and his goal is, wait for it,
Okay.
immortality.
Now that's a goal that puts billion-dollar problems to shame, right?
Wow.
He's leading the development of avatars and brain-computer interfaces,
Oh, wow. So we're talking about like controlling robots with our minds
potentially even transferring our consciousness.
into like a digital form.
Yeah, it sounds like a science fiction.
Yeah.
But what if he's onto something?
Right. It really makes you think about like the boundaries of what's even possible.
And the ethical and philosophical questions.
Oh my gosh. Huge.
But for Dmitry, the driving force seems to be a spiritual crisis,
Okay.
a desire to overcome our physical limitations.
Interesting.
It's a journey that's come at a cost.
Okay.
He's very open about the fact that this work has taken priority.
Over like a traditional family life.
Exactly.
So he's really committed.
He is.
Even if it means making significant personal sacrifices.
Absolutely. And then we have Michael Birch,
Okay.
who took a very different approach
Okay.
to building his fortune.
Right.
He's the tech whiz who made millions
Okay.
from the early social networking site, Bebo.
Oh, yeah. I remember Bebo.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Well, he sold it
Okay.
for $850 million,
Oh, my gosh.
but later bought it back for a fraction of the price,
Mm.
just $1 million
Really?
out of nostalgia.
Wow.
Imagine selling your creation for a fortune,
Yeah.
only to buy it back years later.
Yeah.
Pure sentimentality or a brilliant business move?
It definitely sounds like a decision driven by something more than just spreadsheets
Yeah.
and profit margins.
He's very open about the fact that he didn't expect Bebo to come back into his life.
Right.
He simply saw it declining
Oh, okay.
and felt it deserved a better fate.
Hmm.
He said, "The one thing certain is it'll be fun trying."
I love that.
Yeah.
That almost makes those millions seem like an afterthought. Like he
Right.
wants to create,
He wants to rebuild.
see his vision come to life again.
Exactly. And that journey hasn't always been easy.
Okay.
The documentary mentions that at one point his wife had to rely on her mother for groceries while they were building the business.
Oh, wow. So they were really bootstrapping it.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that even for billionaires, the path to success isn't always glamorous.
Right.
There are struggles, sacrifices, and moments of doubt.
For sure.
But what strikes me is that despite their very different approaches,
Yeah.
all three of these individuals share some common traits.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's hear it. What are the secrets?
All right, well, first and foremost, incredible work ethic.
Really?
All three emphasize that there are no shortcuts.
So it's not all private jets and champagne.
Not exactly.
Okay, I'm surprised.
And here's another interesting observation.
Yeah.
They're all deeply passionate about their projects.
Okay.
Money seems to be a secondary outcome.
So it's more about the journey
Yeah.
than the destination.
It seems that way. And their childhood experiences seem to have played a significant role.
Yeah, that makes sense.
For example, Naveen's experience with poverty and corruption in India instilled in him a strong work ethic and a desire to solve those societal problems.
Right, he saw firsthand the issues that needed to be addressed.
Exactly. Now, what about the others?
Let's find out. We'll be right back to explore more about the fascinating world of billionaires. Welcome back. Ready to dig deeper.
Oh, yeah. It's like getting a glimpse behind the curtain.
Right, behind the public persona.
And sometimes those glimpses reveal some surprising details.
Okay, like what?
Well, take Naveen Jain, for instance. Remember his passion for space?
Yeah.
Well, he also has an incredible meteorite collection.
Really?
Worth over $9 million.
$9 million on space rocks? That's a serious commitment to a hobby.
And get this, he even had a piece of the moon.
Wow.
What I find interesting is he doesn't keep this collection locked away.
Right.
He shares it with people who couldn't otherwise afford to own these rare items.
Oh, that's cool.
He wants them to experience that same awe and wonder.
That's a really cool way to give back.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Dmitry Itskov, our immortality-seeking friend? What else did we learn about him?
Well, he held this massive conference called the 2045 Initiative,
Okay.
inviting neuroscientists, philosophers, futurists, all sorts of experts to discuss the future of humanity.
Okay.
He even created a political party to push his vision forward.
So he's not just talking about it, he's like actively building a movement.
Yeah. So what's the plan? How does he actually intend to achieve immortality?
Yeah. How's he going to pull that off?
Well, it's a 35-year plan
Okay.
that starts with developing human-like robots or avatars
Okay.
that can be controlled remotely through brain-computer interfaces.
So that's like step one.
Yeah. He believes that eventually we'll be able to transplant a whole brain into these avatars.
Whoa. That's like some serious next level stuff.
It really makes you wonder what the world will look like in 35 years if he's successful,
And the final stage.
uploading human consciousness into a machine,
Wow.
or even existing as a hologram.
Okay, definitely pushing the boundaries there.
Right. And it's no surprise that his work is both incredibly ambitious and incredibly controversial.
Right.
But Dmitry believes it's possible, and he's pouring millions into making it a reality.
Huh.
In fact, he even had a prototype android made, modeled after himself.
Hold on, so there's like a robot Dmitry walking around somewhere.
Well, not quite walking around.
Okay.
It turns out he wasn't satisfied with the first prototype,
Okay.
and he's working with a renowned robotic designer to create a more lifelike version.
So it's a work in progress.
Yeah, but it shows how committed he is to this vision.
That's pretty wild.
Okay, what about Michael Birch?
Yeah, he seems a bit more grounded compared to these other two.
He does, but he's still got that entrepreneurial fire.
Okay.
Remember how he bought back Bebo?
Yeah.
But he admitted that he didn't actually expect it to come back into his life,
Okay.
but he saw it declining and felt it deserved a better fate than just becoming a marketing tool.
So it was a bit of an impulse buy, an $849 million impulse buy.
Perhaps.
Wow.
But he seems genuinely motivated to reinvent the platform
Yeah.
and bring it back to life.
I love that.
He even said, the one thing certain is it'll be fun trying,
It takes guts to try and revive a social media platform in today's world.
especially one that many consider a relic of the past.
Right, exactly.
And speaking of trying, Naveen Jain seems to have instilled that same entrepreneurial spirit in his children.
Yeah, I was going to say, how about his kids?
Right.
They picking up on any of this?
He encouraged his son to measure success not by money, but by the number of lives that he could improve.
Okay, I'm getting some serious proud parent vibes here.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be successful yourself, but to pass those values on, That's amazing.
And guess what? His son started a company at just 6 years old.
What?
And his daughter is focused on social
Oh,
philanthropy.
yeah.
They seem to be following in their father's footsteps, not just in terms of business, but also in their desire to make a positive impact.
That's really amazing. It makes you wonder about that whole nature versus nurture debate.
Yeah, how much of their drive comes from their genes? How much is their upbringing?
Really interesting.
Yeah, but let's not forget that Naveen himself came from humble beginnings.
Right.
He grew up in poverty in India,
Okay.
where his father refused to take bribes, which meant they were constantly being transferred to more rural areas.
So he saw firsthand the challenges that corruption and poverty can create.
Exactly. And despite those challenges, he and his siblings all achieved incredible success.
Wow.
It speaks to their resilience, their work ethic, and the values instilled in them by their parents.
Really a testament to the power of determination.
Yeah.
And believing yourself even when the odds are stacked against you.
Absolutely. And remember Michael Birch?
Yeah.
He also had a similar experience with his father,
Okay.
who was a constant source of entrepreneurial inspiration.
Really?
Michael remembers watching his father pitch ideas and being amazed by his confidence.
Oh, wow.
So in a way, they both had role models who showed them that it was possible to create something from nothing.
Right. Like to take an idea and turn it into a reality.
And that seems to be a key ingredient in their own success.
Yeah.
They learned to dream big, to be persistent, and to never give up on their vision.
So all of this is really highlighting that there's no single formula for becoming a billionaire.
Right. Their paths are diverse.
Yeah.
Their motivations are unique, and their challenges are varied.
It's not just about luck or privilege.
No, it's about passion,
Yeah.
hard work, and a relentless pursuit of your goals.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired, but I have to admit I'm still a little curious about this whole billionaire lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
Do they ever take a break? Do they enjoy the fruits of their labor?
Well, they definitely work hard, but they also seem to find ways to unwind and enjoy themselves.
Okay, good.
For example, Naveen likes to take his speedboat out for a spin to relieve stress.
All right, now that sounds a lot more like the billionaire lifestyle I imagined.
And Michael, well, he built a pub in his house.
Made a whole pub, with a bar and everything.
Yep. He said it's a reminder of his English roots and a fun way to entertain friends.
They even have pickled eggs and yards of ale.
All of it.
That's awesome.
But even with all the perks, it seems like these billionaires are still driven by a need to do more.
To create, to innovate.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
They seem to have this insatiable desire to keep pushing forward,
Yeah.
to keep making a difference.
Yeah.
And that in itself is a fascinating insight into the minds of billionaires.
So this is so much more than just a story about wealth. It's about human ambition,
Yeah.
drive, and the pursuit of something bigger than yourself.
It really is. And it makes you wonder,
Yeah.
what drives you? What are your dreams and aspirations? What problems do you want to solve?
Whoa, there's some big questions.
But you know what? They're the kind of questions we should all be asking ourselves.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be featured in a documentary titled How to Be a Billionaire?
Yeah.
Sharing your own unique story of success.
Right.
Well, maybe not a billionaire, but I definitely feel inspired to chase my dreams.
And that's the beauty of these stories.
Yeah.
They remind us that anything is possible if you have the passion and the drive to pursue it.
This has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
We've gone beyond the stereotypes
Yeah.
and gotten a glimpse into the minds of these extraordinary individuals.
And we've uncovered some surprising insights about what it takes to reach that level of success.
Yeah, both personally and professionally.
For sure. But before we wrap things up, we still have one more billionaire to explore.
Oh, right. Dmitry Itskov.
And his quest for immortality.
Yeah.
What happened with his avatar project? Did he manage to create a lifelike robot version of himself?
We'll have to wait till part 3 to find out. Okay, so we're back
We are.
and ready to wrap up our deep dive into the world of billionaires.
Yes.
And let's be honest, we saved the most mind-boggling journey for
Yeah.
Dmitry Itskov and his quest for immortality.
Yeah. It's a story that really pushes us to rethink our assumptions about success.
Right.
And what drives human ambition.
What do you strive for when your goal is to transcend the limitations of human life?
Right.
So last we heard, Dmitry was working with this robotics expert to create a more lifelike android head,
Yeah.
a step toward his vision of transferring human consciousness into a machine.
Right.
Did they succeed?
Well, the documentary takes us to Dallas, where Dmitry is meeting with the robotic designer, David Hansen.
Okay.
And it turns out things haven't exactly gone according to plan.
Oh, what happened? Did the robot Dmitry malfunction?
Not quite that dramatic,
Okay.
but there was definitely some tension in the air.
Okay.
The android head that they were working on wasn't finished,
Mm-hmm.
and Dmitry was visibly disappointed.
I can imagine. He's poured so much time, energy, and resources into this project.
Yeah.
It must be frustrating to face setbacks like that.
Yeah, and it seems the pressure was getting to him.
Okay.
The documentary crew tried to interview him, but he wasn't in the right headspace to talk about the project,
Wow.
or even about himself.
You know, it's understandable.
Yeah.
Imagine dedicating your life to such a complex and controversial goal.
Right.
The weight of those expectations must be immense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it seems the intensity of his work has taken a toll on his personal life as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He admits that he doesn't have time for a family or even hobbies.
So it really is all-consuming for him?
It raises the question, at what point does pursuing a dream become an all-consuming obsession?
That's a tough question. And it makes you wonder if the potential rewards are worth the sacrifices.
Right. So what did the robotic designer have to say about the delay?
Yeah, what was his perspective?
Well, David Hansen said something really intriguing.
Okay.
He said they were trying to capture Dmitry's soul in the robot.
His soul.
Yeah. He wanted it to be more than just a realistic replica. It needed to convey something of Dmitry's essence.
That's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
So it's not just about physical appearance,
Right.
it's about replicating a person's inner being.
Yeah. That seems incredibly difficult, if not impossible, with our current technology.
Right, and it raises some profound questions about what it means to be human and whether consciousness can truly be replicated.
But despite the challenges and the delays,
Yeah.
Dmitry revealed another interesting application for this technology.
Okay. Tell me more.
He envisions a future where people with disabilities can control human-like robots,
Oh, wow.
giving them a new level of mobility and freedom.
So they could interact with the world in a way that they couldn't before.
Exactly. Imagine a world where physical limitations no longer define a person's ability to interact with the world.
That's a really powerful idea.
Yeah.
And it shows how this technology, while born from a desire for immortality, could have a profound impact on people's lives.
Right. In a very tangible way.
And in a way that helps a lot of people.
It challenges us to think beyond the individual
Right?
and consider the broader societal implications. And despite facing criticism and skepticism,
Right.
Dmitry remains committed to his vision.
Mm.
He believes that these technologies will eventually become widely accepted, and he's willing to face the challenges to bring them to fruition.
It strikes me that all three of these billionaires, despite their vastly different personalities and goals,
Right.
share a common thread. An unwavering belief in their vision and the tenacity to pursue it no matter the obstacles.
They each embody a different aspect of what it takes to achieve success.
Yeah.
Naveen with his passion for solving global problems. Michael with his entrepreneurial spirit and drive to create.
Right.
And Dmitry with his relentless pursuit of a seemingly impossible dream.
It's really a testament to the diversity of human ambition and the power of the human spirit to dream big and to challenge the status quo.
And it leaves us with a lot to ponder.
Right.
If you could solve a problem that affects 1 billion people, what problem would you choose? What legacy do you want to leave on the world?
Those are some really profound questions to consider.
Kedar.
This deep dive has been more than just a glimpse into the lives of billionaires.
Yeah.
It's been a journey of inspiration and self-reflection.
It's a reminder that we all have the potential to make a difference, to achieve great things, and to leave our own unique mark on the world.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
We hope it sparked your curiosity.
Yeah.
And inspired you to think bigger, bolder, and to never stop chasing your dreams.